Hi, thanks for checking out our channel here. This is going to be just a kind of a show and tell of this unit. This is one we fixed for a customer here not too long ago, just yesterday, and went through it and got it going again. It's an older style. It's a solid state unit, not low impedance, so it will basically, solid state stuff, it would basically put out all the power that you'd ever need for a certain size area or not enough. Because the solid state stuff, it would work good on a clean fence or a little bit of weeds here and there. But the longer the distance would be, it didn't have that reserve power thing like the low impedance ones do. And as it would travel down the line, if it's clean, it wouldn't lose. It'd lose some, as the distance went down the line. But if it got a lot of grass on there, it slowly would just drain it way down. And that's why a lot of brands don't make solid state stuff anymore. They were around for a while. It's kind of a cheap thing for a small garden or small area. It says 20 miles. I don't know. That's probably a single stranded clean fence. I don't know how much fence you could actually run with it. But there's information right there. So if you got one of these SACO units, be happy to look at it for you. This is the fancier version. Fancier one has some extra lights. Some of them only had one light on them. This has 3. Basically tells you what's going on. So when you power it on, it's 110, 120 volt. The middle light comes on and say, hey, power input's good, fuse and input's good. And the other 2 lights should start flashing, see here and here. So if this is flashing, but this isn't, that means the board's good. If this isn't flashing, and this one is, that means the transformer's bad. So it's real quick, you can glance at it, tell what's going on. It's real nice, little setup they had on here. Some of them, like I said, only had one light, and they wouldn't tell you much of anything besides if it's flashing and clicking, okay, it's good. If it's flash or not clicking but it is flashing, something's bad. If it doesn't come on at all, it's definitely bad. So, but these things put out a hell of a shock. They'll shoot a spark like that big on there. So, but it's not a very bright spark, but it's a long spark. So. Turn off for a second. Come on. There it goes. So it's got a nice, not as big a spark as I thought it was, but it's a pretty good spark from these things. You can't do standard load tests with them. You can't put a 500 ohm load on there. I mean, you can, but it's going to basically kill the thing. It'll drag it down from, say, 10,000 down to like 2. It'll just drain it real quick. They don't have that reserve capacitive discharge power like low impedance ones do. But here's the inside of it. Pretty basic. A lot of wiring going on, but pretty basic on the inside. You got wires galore running around this thing. But there's the board. It does have a capacitor on it, so it does have capacitive discharge. It doesn't have that low impedance type thing. And there's the big old transformer in there. It also has a little bit of lightning protection right there. A little MOV, like an over voltage protection thing for the fence and ground side on there. And it has 2 fuses on there as well. So, but that's basically it. Got some resistors here for protecting the light bulbs and everything, so it doesn't get too much power and burn the bulbs up. But that's it. I mean, power comes into here and it's built up across the the capacitor, and all this stuff here is for protection stuff as well as the timing of it and the time circuit. So that little device there fires the capacitor through the diodes over to the transformer. Transformer takes that energy, like 600 or probably about 300 volts coming into it, somewhere in that range, maybe 400, spikes it up to about 10,000 on the output side, maybe 8,000, somewhere in that range. So I don't think SACO is around much anymore. You can see the guy bought it 15 years ago, so 2005. So most of them, you can still rebuild them. Even though it's 15 years old, still put a little money in them, and they'll go right back to working again. Transformers are pretty hardy. They don't typically go bad unless they get really stressed out too long with a bunch of grass in the fence or dead short, or lightning gets them. Sometimes they'll damage the transformer, but the boards are usually where your problem lies, and you've got to rebuild the boards typically. And I can usually do that because the boards aren't super complex, but there's some stuff on those boards that, I don't know what they are. You got to really just know what you're doing when you're working on them, especially the old style electronics. So we're going to call the guy up, make sure we want to fix this one. I assume they would, because quite a bit of money to get a new one, so I'm sure they'll fix it. So we'll put a 1.5 year warranty on this unit on the repairs that we did to the board. So we'll call them up and get it back to them. So if you've got a old SACO unit, Five-Shock made a variation of this, I think, and Silver Streak's another variation of it. There's information right there, fencerfixer.com. We also work in cattle scales and low bars and EID tag readers for the Gallagher brand. So if you got even fence testers for Gallagher's, we can fix them things too. So if you'd like to hit us up sometime, give me a call. I'll be happy to help you out. We do give free quotes and 18-month warranty on anything that we work on. All right, so until next time, we'll see you guys later on.